All right, change the camera view so you can see it better. This is I just wedged clay a little bit. You can see it's a less chunk here. You can soak it underwater, and as you wedge it, you can get kind of soft clay, not quite slip, but almost slip-like texture. So I think it's a little too soft, but still I can print it anyway, I think. So this is one way to prepare it. Or the other way is you can have a little plastic or something, then you can put some clay, as I mentioned. Like if you've seen some ice cream making process, so you can actually wet the clay like this, and you can spray some water, and you can put the clay into the clay container as well. So when you put the container like this one, make sure you don't get any kind of chunk of dried clay that's inside. So you will need some water and sponge like this. So like put it up after you use it. Also, around the rim, usually clay gets dry really fast in this area. So, like if necessary, you can have a leaf to cover it. So I think this one is all usable right now. Although it's a little wet, but I think I can still handle it. It's a little too wet, but okay, it'll be fine. Anyway, I can use this. Then we have some leftover clay. So I can show you how you can unload. By the way, you can see the color of the clay. This one is different. So this one, those are two different clay. So I'm not gonna mix them together. So I will have two containers because this one I wrote it from home, and this one is I ordered it here, so I can apply with heavy clay. So if you have a clay mixing facility, you can use any kind of studio-made clay as well. Just any temperature too. Just make sure you have like use a Gragless clay. So after this, I'm gonna use some any. I try to use like bamboo skewer to clean the nozzle like this. If it's wet, it's really easy to clean. Then the next thing is take out the lead screw. Then there's two ways. So one is use the tongue and grab it, and you just pull it. If sometimes you can see it's moving. Actually, it's moving very easily. Yeah, you can see. Or the other way is you can use, in my case, I have a steel rod, and then I put it like from here, and then like just push it out physically either will be fine. Just do whichever works for you. Good. Here, this one you can actually grab it like this with wire if it's just stuck, but this one's soft clay, so it's fairly easy to take it out like this. And always keep your tools clean, your like area clean, especially in my case, I have a laptop, 3D printer, clay, everything is in one table. So like I try to keep things clean. Then something like this one, I have some leftover clay inside because I want to switch to a different clay. What I'm gonna do is especially summertime, it's okay, but when you do it over the winter or dry season, you will really need a hand screw. So, by the way, so put it like this way, you turn it, and you take out the leftover clay. So I'm gonna just put it back here, and still, you can see I take out the most of clay, but there's a little bit. It is okay to mix a little bit, but you don't want to just really mix too much because actually both are mid-range, which higher than cone 6, so it will be fine, but different clay might have different shrinkage, so better you don't want to mix it. So in my case, I have another the same tone. This one really handy. I love it. I picked it up in actually craft shop, but this is really good. I think this one's actually for jewelry making, like so it's long, sturdy, it's steel, so it can handle the heat and really good. And in my case, I just put the sponge like this, so I can take out the leftover clay in this syringe. Yes. Let's just do one more. If you have, water sink in your studio, that's great. If not, just have a small bucket of water like this and use it. Also, when you dump clay water, you don't want to just dump it in your house sink because the clay, the fine particle could like accumulate. So like clay water can be, you can let it sit and then the clay goes down and then you can drain it and you can also dump the clay water somewhere. So, okay, this one is pretty clean, I think. Then I will load the clay. As I mentioned, it's a little wet, but still it's a little wet. Yes, but still it's printable. So when I print this wet clay, I should be a bit cautious because it can be sagged or it's a little too soft. But anyway, I'm gonna start loading the clay. Also, what you can do is when you load one, you can actually load a 2 syringe and then just use it. When you do that, put your preloaded syringe into a kind of plastic container so it can be wet. Also, in my case, I'm just doing it by hand, but also what you can do is you can have a little kind of clay. If you have clay studio, you have extruder on the wall, and then you can load it, and then you can squeeze it that could be a good way as well. But to use that one, you need to have a pulp mill and have a clay studio and full facility. I think this one, yeah, it's really, really soft. So I'm not gonna load two because if this one is too soft, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just let it sit for at least a few hours, or I can add some more, a little bit stiff clay in it and then mix it again to make it less softer. I think I added a little too much water when I wet it, so use spray. Spray is good. All right. Yeah, it's really soft. Same process, you can put the piston. And flush the clay a little bit. That's it, it's soft. Flush a little bit. And now let's clean my hands. Remove extra clay. And put the nozzle back. Good, and you can see a little clay there, but hopefully that'll be fine. As I wash some more clay, that could be extruded, and put this one back. Put the screw back. Okay. So again, this extruder is good for beginner and also when you need to travel. So that's why I really like this one. Also, it's really cheap. So if you can source the dual shaft motor, the other parts are very affordable. But many of the time I'm using this extruder because this was more like advanced and I can use a much larger container here as well. So if you feel comfortable using this one, actually definitely can start using this one. I shared the 3D file. Maybe later, once I get back home, I'm gonna take another video, introduce like how to use this one. Okay, then you can load the extruder and then change the angle. Come on, autofocus. Okay. And I'm controlling the printer here. So what I'm gonna do is on all, it just moves up. This printer is set to 265 millimeter Z, so 200 millimeter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And actually what happened here is it hit the bed. So we need 5 millimeter more space. So I'm gonna put it up a little bit. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 millimeter down. And make sure they're touching, or actually, can I get a better view? Can you see? It's touching, or you can give a little, push it up a little bit. So every time when you put it back, you need to do this one. because it's not the hot end, so it's fairly easy to do it. And sometimes I forgot to do this when I hit the home and it start printing. When I started printing the first layer, I just move it up and down a little bit, adjust it. That's completely fine because it's clay, not a hot end. So you do need to do like basic calibration, but other than that, actually every time you can move it up and down a little bit too. So I'm gonna start another print, the same jar. And that's gonna be, oh, actually I forgot one more thing. I stop the print, move it up. What I didn't do is I need to flush some clay. So actually, with a better view, I'm gonna just put it here and move down the nozzle a little bit. Then I'm gonna extrude some more. I think last video I already described it, but just in case, I will share my screen to show you the scene. So this is whole control panel, like it's already connected. You can move the Z up and down, and there's extrude. So I'm going to extrude some more material. Hopefully you can see this one here. Extrude, so I can put my hands to the stepper motor and it's kind of vibrating, which means it's working. Okay, clay is coming. I'm going to just flush out some more before I start print. So the reason why I'm doing is the clay will be like pressurized enough, and then when you start printing, it will start extruding right away. Then I already have the design and the G code here. It's pretty long code here. Oh wow, it's doing spiraling, so actually you can see more code. If you want to learn more about the G code and like if you want to do some manual editing and those kinds of things, like you can use the G code wiki page to understand G1 and XYZ and other things. Then I'm gonna just flush it one more time and I will start printing. Okay, here we go. And I learned something. This one, if you do some clay and other things, this one is called like something called the liquid spiraling or something. So it's sure that like plasticky material when you extrude it, something like that. It's kind of making some foils. All right, then I will start printing. As I mentioned, this is a kind of wet clay, so I will pay attention to the printing a little bit more. As necessary, you can actually pull it up and down a little bit as well. That's also another good thing about printing clay. So it's wet. So I'm going to start using heat gun right away. Don't use too much. Always. You need to find the sweet spot. Not too much, not too less. Hopefully, yeah, like learning from me doing this, and the process as well, because when you see the video, that doesn't really include all the process, or like you don't know what's really going on in the video as well. So it does really need effort to make things happen. I'm gonna let it keep running, and I'm gonna stop recording right now, and then I will continue record the other video.